All right, it's time again for another episode of Drummer Nation Live, the show for and about drums and drummers and drumming. We discuss all of the above, and I say we because I have an esteemed co-host and partner in crime. It's my honor to be with Adam Nussbaum. Hey, Adam, how are you this week?
I'm good.
Getting through the holiday season?
It's all melody,
Whatever you practice, we hope you're having a great holiday season.
Yes,
And
indeed. Just hoping for peace in this world.
Peace in this world. My son's coming home from Nashville this week, so it's a homecoming too, and we like that. And should be a stone groove. Got a few gigs and hanging out and relaxing.
Great.
And then I'm going to the Gen Show at Jazz Education Network in first week of January in New Orleans. You're not going to that this year, are you?
Not this year. No.
All right. Well,
last year I had a wonderful time, and maybe next year.
It's a stone groove, and it's my hometown. It's New Orleans, so I always look for a reason to go there.
That's a great town, and you will have a fantastic time, I'm sure.
Well, you got all the players who come down for the gig, for the thing, and then all the guys in New Orleans are in and out of the show too, and all the people at the show are in and out of the clubs, catching those cats. So it's a great thing. I'm looking forward to it.
That's a great city.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to continue today with our second in a series of Roy Burns Redux. As we explained last week, Roy Burns wrote a series of articles for Modern Drummer in the 80s for like 12 years. They were called Concepts, and they were everything you needed to know as a drummer, and they were spot on, but they weren't at all about exercises and motifs and independence and sight reading, and it wasn't any of that. It was text of how to live and function in this world. And they're available sort of in this book, The Best of Concepts. It's out of print, but I understand it was printed by Modern Drummer, that the new owner has made them available to anybody who subscribes to the magazine. So you can catch them all there. And you're going to see from our discussion that they're just terrific. So I picked one that kind of picks up with where we left off last time. This one's called Success. Is it who you know or what you know? And before I go any further, Adam, what do you say about that?
Well, it's got to be a combination of elements. You have to be on the scene if you want to get on the scene. So you have to be out there. But you also got to be able to deliver. Because at the end of the day, only one word is going to matter. And I'm taking this quote from the great drummer Philly Joe Jones. He said, "The end of the day, only one word is going to matter: results." And I think that's pretty profound. And you got to be able to take care of business. I mean, you have to hopefully be out there enough so people are aware of you. And you have to be out there on the scene. You have to make yourself visible. You have to present yourself. I was always somebody that would always go to jam sessions, and I would always go hear my mentors play, and a lot of times they would have me sit in, and it was like jumping on a burning house. You know, you had to get up there and take care of business. So you have to be able to be on the scene, but you got to be able to clean up.
So it's both, right? Is it who
Absolutely.
you know? Well, yeah, you got to know some people or nobody's going to call you. Is it what you know? Absolutely. You better deliver when you're on the bandstand, like Philly Joe said. And that ties into talent, ties into perseverance, dedication, integrity. Can people rely on you? Are you fun hang on the gig? Are you somebody they want to have on the bandstand with them?
You got to project the right vibe, the right energy. I brought it up, I think, last time we were talking about with Baby Dodds. You know, the drummer brings the right vibe and energy, and you got to play for the benefit of the band.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the things that he spoke about, you know, Roy Burns, these are gentlemen that have, you know, proved themselves out there in the field. And these are timeless realities that have to be addressed. You could be the the greatest drummer in your neighborhood, in your house. But that doesn't mean anything unless you get out there and you play with others.
Yeah, in today's day and age, with the internet being what it was and coming off a pandemic, people might be forgetting that, it's not what you can do in your room by yourself. It's how do you make music with other people? Because drums are by and large an accompaniment instrument.
Sure.
I,
90% of what we do is accompany other people.
I saw one concert that was a drummer just playing the whole thing, and it was Max Roach. He did 45 minutes by himself, and he held the audience, and they weren't drummers. Like it wasn't a drum event, a PASIC or anything. It was a regular concert. He opened for Gene Harris's trio. But Max held it with his musicality.
Amen. I mean, Max was so musical and he was extremely thematic in how he developed ideas. And
Mm-hmm.
what he did solo is something that you would just do, creating song forms and structures. A, B, A. He did things that were, you could probably come out and sing part of what he was doing.
Right. And he
And
did
that's
that
because
with,
he was thinking of musical information, not just rhythmic information.
and that came from many sessions, many albums, leading his own band, especially the one with Clifford, where it's so musical and his choruses are so integrated and perfect and melodic. I don't know how we got off on Max, but
Well, nothing wrong getting off on him because he's somebody that everybody should know about and at least pay attention to all the wonderful things that he brought to this instrument and to the music.
absolutely. Now, the other
Yeah.
thing he touches on and we talked about last week is it's kind of a lucky break if somebody hears you and they decide to call you. That's great. You need that. That's a break. You don't make a career out of a break. That gives you the opportunity to show what you can do, but you still have to have results.
At the end of the day, that's all that matters, really. And
Mm-hmm.
and you have to be conscientious. You have to be aware of taking care of business as a human being. You have to be responsible. All those things we were talking about,
Mm-hmm.
being time, being prepared. I think of it. What was the motto for the Boy Scouts? Be prepared.
Be prepared. I was the Boy Scout. Yes, sir. It's a good
When
motto.
you're at the bandstand, you got to be prepared.
Mm-hmm. Now, things have changed since this is all true, what Roy said, but things have changed a little bit in the responsibilities of each musician now over what they used to be. I'm old enough to remember, I know you are too, when once you got yourself out there, you waited for the phone to ring and you played your gigs. But nowadays, man, there's so much more you have to be on top of. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, the climate has definitely changed since the entire onset of the digital world. So many people have made careers now being very good at self promoting,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole thing has changed. It used to be you just would listen to music, now you're looking at music.
That's a very good point.
And
And
I mean, that began with MTV before the whole thing with the internet. I go to record dates now. They're filming everything as well, not just recording it.
they're filming everything everywhere now. Every
There's no.
date you go on, somebody's got a video camera and it's up online that night.
That's true. There's no escaping now.
No. So you better play your ass off all the time because you don't know when you're going to see it again. And that stuff's around in perpetuity, like your grandchildren will be able to look that up. So, anyway, some of the things I wrote down that you have to be aware of now is producing, marketing, distributing, managing your own career, booking your own gigs, some kind of media know-how like what we're doing here. You have to know something about audio, about lighting, about cameras, editing video. You might be involved in education. There's a whole lot more than just playing the instrument, practicing and listening and showing up at the gig.
This is very true. We're in a new time now, and the people that are growing up in today's world with everything going on with technology and the media, there's like you said, there's more components that have to be addressed and to be aware of. Or you need to have some people or have a little team and a network where you got people that work together to do these things.
Let's take a little break for some spots here. I owe to some sponsors. Don't go anywhere, folks. These are 15 seconds. Hang tight.
The stories that go on. I mean, if these walls could talk, holy mackerel, we'd all go to jail.
New from Bopworks, it's the Stick Station. Stick Station attaches easily to any rim and makes quick work of changing from sticks to brushes. Stick Station is available at bopworks.net and from fine percussion retailers.
Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Bobby A, and today I wanted to tell you about how much I really love the Hudson Music digital app. Okay, now, check it out. It's an app that you can get for your device, and you can purchase books from the Hudson Music digital store and have them stored right on your device. The great thing about it is you always have it with you, and any content that might be video related or music related is right there at your fingertips. It's a wonderful resource.
Okay, I lied. I think that last one was 30 seconds. But that Hudson app is outstanding. I have a book through that, and I use it for teaching all the time. So thanks to the sponsors. We're going to keep these fairly short. What else? You want to add some things on this, Adam?
Well, the climate of our times now is very different from how you and I grew up. We grew up in an analog world. Now it's a digital world. And everybody is used to getting everything instantly. Oh, I'll ask Google. I'll ask Siri. Well, the process of playing the instrument still has to be done by taking time to do it. You're not going to be able to just ask Google how to get a swing and ride cymbal beat. That's something that I've been working on for 50 years.
That's right.
And so there's also the orientation of how people are growing up now. Everybody's used to getting everything instantly. And you have to understand that certain aspects of this craft take time and dedication and repetition. And at the end of the day, you have to really love it and have a passion for it.
Speaking of that, you're not in your music room, but if you look at any of us, you'll see hundreds or thousands of records or discs or whatever the music is on. Listening takes up an awful lot of time. And whatever genre you are in, man, you better know that music. You better know the history of it, the great drummers, and be able to hear them and know who they are. And that's your vocabulary from which you can begin to speak the language.
Amen.
And it only comes from homework, man.
I love listening. I mean, that's pretty much how I learned everything. I mean, I never read a book about how to play. It was listening and seeing people when I was a youngster and being fortunate to have people around that were better at it or just had been doing it longer than me.
A friend
And
of
I
mine.
think it's very important to seek out mentors and have a bunch of them. Just don't have one hero. It's good to have a few.
A friend of mine who's since passed, his dad was a musician, and he was also. And he said, when I was a young man, my dad told me how to play with some older players to get better. But what he didn't tell me was that when I was an old man, I had to play with some younger players to get better.
I think that's good. I found
new energy.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time I was always the kid, and I got to play with a lot of elders, and they enjoyed having some young energy there. And I
Sure.
was grateful to be there and benefit by the wisdom of their experience and just to be around people like that. It's great to play with your friends. You have to do that. You have to find a network of friends, but it's also great to put yourself out there. Let the elders know that you're interested. Be curious. I mean, I did this with several people along the way. I told them, I'd go to them I'd see them at a gig. I'd say, man, if you're ever going to do something or you're putting something together, I'd love to play with you sometime. And they remember that because they want people that want to be there.
Yep. And it's good to tell them that.
Yeah, and then you have to be able to take care of business and get the results. So
I had a friend when I was young, he was looking to get on Stan Kenton's band. And somebody on the band said to him, "Did you tell Stan?" You know, he said, "No, I never." Well, maybe you want to tell him that you'd love to play on his band. It's a good start.
sure.
All right. Well, the book is the guy is Roy Burns. He's since passed. He was also the founder and president of Aquarian Drumheads, as well as an outstanding drummer. Look him up. Here's an article I did with him for Classic Drummer. He was one of my dear friends, and there's our cover for the stuff we're doing. So we're going to do a few more of these as we see fit. The book has, I don't know, probably 70 of them in there. So we'll pick it up again next time on Drummer Nation. You got anything else to add, Adam?
Well, I just praying for peace in this world, for everyone to try to show compassion and humanity to each other, especially during this holiday. And just grateful for the good things
Grateful
and have
for
a
the
lot
good
of
things.
gratitude.
Same here, and we're going to pick this up after the first of the year. So everybody have a very happy New Year, a very safe New Year. You working New Year's Eve? I'm not.
Not me, baby.
It's my birthday too, and it was always a gig, my whole life.
January 1st is your birthday, or
No,
the
December
31st?
December 31st. And
Oh, man.
when I was a kid, it was great. The whole world had a party. When my professional life as a musician for 50 years, man, I was never home. So now, in my old age, I'm starting to take some New Year's Eves off and enjoy them at home.
I kind of said a few years back, probably 10 years ago, I said, I got to make the year if I'm going to make the gig. So it's got to
Good.
put a big smile in the pocket.
There you go. There you go. All right, everyone. We're going to let it go now. I'll see you next time with Adam Nussbaum on another edition of Drummer Nation Live.
Michael.
And thanks again, Adam. Really appreciate you. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone. Should I play Jingle Bells for everyone?
How about Away Hanukkah?
I could do the dreidel song. Oh, man, you wouldn't believe it.